Oh, pardon me. Welcome back to Papa-Norr Story Time. My name is Papa-Norr. I trust you've enjoyed the second book that we've just read, Kofi and the Bucket of Powder. All over a pastor. Oh my God, Kofi is so naughty. We are about to do book 3, and I wonder what Kofi is going to be up to. At it again, very naughty. To all those who have subscribed to this channel, I would like to say a very big thank you. Thank you for liking it, subscribing it, clicking on the notification button, and spreading the love. If you're new to this channel, don't forget, I am pleading with you. Like it, subscribe to it, and click on that notification button and share it. As we go along, you will see some information at the bottom of the screen telling you where you can buy the books. All the books we've read on this channel, we'll give you a link to the bookshops where you can buy the books. So please take note of that information as well. And we will repeat it at the end of this video as well. So today, we have another reader with us. And you've met her before. And she's gladly accepted to do this reading for us. She's in the person of Nana Ofosu Ama. Nana, take it away.
Kofi Opoku's up to his tricks again. But this time, it seems that his latest trick has angered a ghost, and a ghost is out to get him. Nobody believes him when he tells them about the scary figure that has been appearing at his window. Is Kofi imagining things? Or is there really a ghost in Butikrom out to get him? We shall find out. The Adventures of Naughty Kofi, Kofi and the Ghost. Written by Nana Ama Bachman, illustrated by Fanny Orlins Binder. The class 4 students of Butikrom Primary School were very angry with their classmate, Kofi Opoku. Even his best friend Kojo Mensah had enough of Kofi and his tricks. The final straw came when Kofi put chewing gum on the science teacher Miss Boating's chair, spoiling her new dress. She was so upset she punished the whole class. They were all punished to spend 10 minutes of their break time picking up litter from the school compound. They had to do this for 2 whole weeks. No matter how hard they tried to explain to Miss Boating that it was Kofi who should be punished, she ignored their explanations. Unisa Sedu, the class prefect, tried one last time to explain. Miss Boating, please listen. Kofi put the chewing gum on your chair. You don't have to punish all of us. No, I do, Miss Boating exclaimed. I have to teach you all a lesson. Sometimes you see Kofi doing things you know are wrong, but you don't report him. I hope this punishment will teach you all to be brave and speak up when you see something wrong being done here. The bell rang for break time, and Miss Boating instructed the classroom to go outside and start their punishment. On the 3rd day, an unusual thing happened. Loud shouts of "Snake! Snake! Snake!" could be heard as Kojo Mensah and Kwame Bedu came running from the large dustbin in the corner of. It had rained a little that morning, and the ground was still wet in some places. Kojo was running so fast he didn't realize, until it was too late, that he was running right into a large puddle. He tried to jump over it, but he slipped and fell into the cold, muddy water. Kwame, who was right behind him, fell on top of Kojo, splashing the dirty water all over. Their school uniforms were soaked as their classmates came around to see if they were hurt. Kojo and Kwame saw Kofi quickly stuff a dark green rubber snake into his pocket. The snake they had seen was a fake. They decided to say nothing about it, and with the help of their classmates, slowly got up and cleaned up their mud-covered uniforms. A few nights after the snake incident, Kofi was woken up by a loud tapping sound coming from outside. He opened his eyes to see a white figure staring at him from the window. It had no nose or mouth, just bright red eyes. It looked like a ghost. Kofi screamed in fear and jumped out of bed. The ghost began to laugh, and point his long white fingers at him. Kofi was so scared, his teeth were chattering. When the eyes of the ghost began to glow red, Kofi thought he would faint. There was also flashing lights and strange clicking sounds coming from all around the ghost. Kofi's heart was beating fast. When the ghost held the wooden shutters of the window and brought his face to the mosquito net, he jumped out of bed and sped to the door. He turned to see if the ghost was still behind him, and to his shock, it was nowhere to be found. Kofi rushed to the window, but there was no sign of the ghost. He walked back to his bed shaking. Where was this ghost? Was it a dream? He lay awake all night tossing and turning until he heard Mama Karu's cockerel in the morning. For a whole week, at different times of the night, Kofi saw the ghost at his window. Sometimes it whistled. Other times, it laughed a big scary laugh. Ha 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 ha. One night, the ghost appeared, started shaking the wooden shutters and saying in a deep voice, Kofi Opoku, Kofi Opoku, I have come to take you away, far, far away. Kofi's little sister Foriwa was deep in sleep, so Kofi didn't bother to wake her up when the ghost fierce appeared. After it spoke, he was so scared, he shook her awake. Foriwa, Foriwa, wake up, he cried. Foriwa opened her eyes slowly, sat up. What is it, Kofi? She mumbled. Look at the ghost, he pointed to the window. The moment Foriwa turned to look, the ghost had disappeared. Kofi couldn't believe his eyes. Where had the ghost gone? Foriwa was furious and told him that she would report him to their parents in the morning for trying to scare her. Kofi thought he was going mad. Why was he the only one who could see this ghost? In the morning, Foriwa reported Kofi to their parents, and they scolded him for trying to scare his little sister. Kofi was miserable. He couldn't talk to any of his friends from school about the ghosts because they were still angry about the chewing gum and the snake incidents. He didn't know what to do, so he decided to talk to his older cousin Fifi about the ghost after church on Sunday. Fifi might believe him. At church on Sunday, Kofi couldn't pay attention during the sermon and eagerly went to find Fifi after church was over. Fifi, there's something I want to talk to you about, Kofi said nervously. Kofi, I don't have time for any of your tricks today, Fifi replied, looking cautiously at Kofi. Please, this isn't a trick. It's very important. Fifi was still not convinced. He ordered Kofi to show him his hands, to make sure there was nothing in them. He then made Kofi empty his pockets so that he could check them as well. There was nothing in them. Fifi indeed looked at Kofi's shoes, just in case something was hiding there. When he realized Kofi wasn't hiding anything, he relaxed and was ready to listen. Okay, what is the problem? Fifi asked. Fifi, I'm scared. At different times of night this week, a ghost has been scaring me, Kofi replied, looking frightened. At hearing Kofi mention the word ghost, Fifi suddenly became serious and asked Kofi to describe the ghost. Did you say ghost? What does it look like? It is big and white. What color are its eyes? Red. That's serious, Fifi whispered. Does the ghost say anything to you? It used to just laugh, but recently it said my name and told me it had come to take me far, far away, Kofi replied in a shaky voice. Fifi was quiet for a long time, his face very serious. He folded his arms and asked, Kofi, have you ever heard of the ghost of Boti? The ghost of Boti? What is that? No, I haven't heard about it, Kofi exclaimed. It hasn't been seen in a very long time, but it is known to appear to the naughty boys in boutique room. The last time it was seen was about 50 years ago. Nobody knows where it comes from. It appears for about a week or two, and then on the last day it takes the child it has appeared to away. It takes the child away? Where does it take the child? Kofi screamed. Kofi was almost in tears. He had never been so scared in his life. Why hadn't anyone told him about the ghost before? Fifi, how do you get rid of the ghost? What do I have to do? Nobody believes me. Please help me, Kofi wailed. Fifi looked at Kofi and began to shake his head. I can't help you. Nobody has ever been able to stop the ghost. You have to figure this out yourself. With that, Fifi turned away and walked away. Kofi thought he saw a small smile on his cousin's face as he turned, but he couldn't have been imagining it. Kofi realized that nobody was going to help him, so he decided to take matters in his own hands. That night, he waited till it was very late, and he was sure his parents and Foriwa were asleep. Then he grabbed a scarf from the wardrobe and slipped outside into the cool night. He wasn't sure what he was going to do, but he hoped he would be able to see where the ghost came from and find a way to defeat it. Kofi almost fell asleep, hiding by the old shed. He was about to doze off when he heard footsteps approaching. As the steps drew closer, he was surprised to hear two familiar voices. It sounded like his friends Kojo Mensah and Kwame Bedu. Kofi peeped to see Kojo hiding in a large white cloth with a pair of white gloves on top of the cloth, and Kwame holding a small bag, which he was about to put on the ground. Kofi quickly jumped up and shouted, "Kojo, Kwame, what are you doing here?" Kojo and Kwame jumped up in surprise. Kofi ran up to them and demanded an answer. "What are you doing here?" Kojo reluctantly explained that they had been angry at Kofi for the tricks with the chewing gum and the rubber snake, and also wanted to play a trick on him. Their red eyes were caused by some red paint Kojo painted around his own eyes, and the flashing lights and clicking sounds were from Kwame's father's camera. His father was out of town, and Kwame had been able to take the camera without his mother or siblings noticing. Kwame explained that while Kojo dressed as a ghost and distracted Kofi with the whistles and the laughter, he would quickly take photos of Kofi's scared expressions. Kofi was stunned. He didn't like the fact that Kojo and Kwame had been able to trick him. He also didn't want to admit to them that he had been very, very scared. He decided not to say anything, glaring at his friends, and walked angrily back to his house. He had trouble sleeping and spent most of the night thinking about ways to pay Kojo and Kwame back for scaring him. 2 days later, Kofi arrived at school to meet a group of classmates standing in front of the classroom and laughing at something Kojo was holding. When they saw Kofi coming, they laughed even more. As Kofi got closer, he saw that Kojo was holding some pictures, and he could see himself in one of them. In his anger, when he had caught Kojo and Kwame, he forgot that they had told him they had taken photos of him. "Kojo! Kwame! Give me those photos! Give me the photos!" Kofi shouted. They ignored him and continued to laugh as they passed the photos around to their classmates, who had just joined the group and hadn't seen them. Kofi was about to try and grab some of the photos when a firm hand held his shoulder. He turned to see Fifi standing behind him. "Fifi, you are my big cousin. Tell them to give me the photos," Kofi wailed. "No, I won't. You're always playing tricks and scaring people. Your friends wanted to teach you a lesson. Kojo and Kwame came to me after you scared them with the snake, and we came up with a plan to scare you with the ghost. I even printed out photos from the camera for them," Fifi said, giggling. Kofi didn't know what to say. Fifi had known about the plan all along. He walked quietly to class and sat down. From that day, and a long while after, whenever any of his classmates walked by him, they levered, "Kofi Opoku, I've come to take you far, far away."
Kofi, you did it, and this time you have been paid back. So don't think that you're the only one who can be naughty. Others can be naughty too, but it's only out of respect. Respect for each other. Let us respect each other. Let us be kind to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the end of book 3. And so very soon we'll be entering into book 4 in the next reading. Once again, if you're new to this channel, I am pleading with you. Don't forget, don't just watch without liking, subscribing, or clicking on that notification button. Please, like it, subscribe, and click on the notification button and spread it. Share it with your friends and your families and let them also enjoy this book. Stimulate their minds. We want to stimulate their minds and get them reading and listening one more time. Thank you very much for listening to Papa-Norr Story Time. We will come your way with another reading. My name is Papa-Norr.